Award-winning novelist Earl Lovelace is encouraging young people of Trinidad and Tobago to read the works of Dr. Eric Williams and Franzt Fanon in order to understand their country and themselves better. Mr. Lovelace made the comments during the first internal consultations on constitutional reform held by the People's National Movement at Balize House, Port of Spain on Saturday. Over 100 members of the PNM youth arm turned out for the event. Mr. Lovelace told the youth, if we are to be governed by a constitution, then we must know not only what the constitution is, but also who we are. He referred the young people to who he described as two great Caribbean thinkers, Martinique's Afro-Caribbean psychiatrist and political philosopher Franz Fanon, and TNT's first Prime Minister Dr. Eric Williams. Mr. Lovelace said young people should read Dr. Williams's Capitalism and Slavery, The History of the People of T&T, and From Columbus to Castro, The History of the Caribbean, 1492 to 1969, and quoted Dr. Williams on the impact of outside influences on this country and its people.
The artist's community and individual values are not for the most part authentic, but to borrow the language of the economist, possess a high import content. The vehicle of import being the educational system, and the educational system, the media, the films, and the tourists. And he says Naipaul's description of West Indians as mimic men is harsh, but true.
Mr. Lovelace also quoted Fanon, who he suggests gives advice on how young people should proceed given the many societal problems now confronting them.
And Fanon says every generation out of relative obscurity must discover its mission and either fulfill it or betray it. These are very useful things to say. He's not talking here about the individual well-being necessarily, but generation. And what he's suggesting here, he's looking at a generational struggle, right? That must be rediscovered by the generation on stage at the moment, must be rediscovered and either to be fulfilled or to be betrayed.
In January, at the PNM's General Council meeting, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley appointed a 10-member working committee to undertake consultations and to develop the PNM's position on constitutional reform for Trinidad and Tobago. Attorney and Port of Spain South MP Keith Scotland was appointed chairman. Speaking to the media after the event, Mr. Scotland said there would also be consultation with the PNM's Women's League, its Tobago arm, and 41 constituencies. A secure email, ttconstitutionreformpnm@gmail.com, has also been created for party members to submit their views and circulate to members internally.